Our top stories tonight. Taylor Swift wins the Super Bowl. Clemson is confirmed one of the best colleges for our future leaders by Time Magazine. Clemson gets a new ice cream joint, and country music star Toby Keith is dead at 62. All here on Clemson News Now. Thank you for joining us. I'm Alex Alonso.
And I'm Erin Mason.
Last Sunday, the Kansas City Chiefs defeated the San Francisco 49ers 25-22 in overtime to win the Super Bowl 58. This marks the third Super Bowl win for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in the last 5 years. Mahomes was stellar with 333 passing yards, 66 rushing yards, and 2 passing touchdowns, one of which was the game-winner touchdown pass to Mecole Hardman in overtime. Mahomes' performance was awarded with the Super Bowl MVP, which now gives him 3 total, tying Joe Montana with the second most of all time. The most shocking part is that Mahomes is only 28 years old, so expect to continue to see his best for years to come.
Speaking of best, Clemson has been named one of the best colleges for future leaders by Time Magazine. Time collaborated with Statista to analyze the resumes of 2,000 leaders in America and see where they earned their degrees. These leaders range from politicians, CEOs, and Nobel Prize winners. Using this information, they created a list ranking the top 100 schools for future leaders. Clemson came in at number 84, right behind the University of Connecticut. According to Time, what distinguishes these schools, experts say, is not necessarily that they teach students to be better leaders, but that alums receive more opportunities and many companies have vested interest in hiring them.
Moving into politics, the South Carolina Republican presidential primary will be taking place on Saturday, February 24th. The primary will have former U.S. President Donald Trump and former South Carolina Governor and U.S. Ambassador Nikki Haley. Apparently, the latest polls, according to 538, has Trump ahead in national and South Carolina polls with 76% and 66% respectively. The candidates are dwindling, and the state primaries are heating up as we come down to the final stretch before the election.
Entering into Clemson's ice cream market, Handel's old-fashioned ice cream shop finally opened its doors this past Thursday. Here is Riley Guy with The Scoop.
New to downtown Clemson, Handel's homemade ice cream has stirred up a lot of buzz these past few weeks. It opened its doors to the public for the first time on February 15th. Handel's menu includes over 150 flavors you can choose from, which is part of the reason it's so appealing to customers.
People of Clemson have been so welcoming, so inviting. We've made so many friends right off the bat, and we're really excited, especially for the first store to be here in Clemson.
Co-owners Jim Belcher and his son Jordan say that Clemson is the perfect place to start a business. So many people came together to celebrate the opening of Handel's and check out its extensive menu. Jim Belcher says that this shop is just what Clemson needs and is happy to bring it to the town and university.
Yeah, our goal is to bring happiness to Clemson. I mean, that's what ice cream is, right? It's community, it's celebration, it's being together, it's enjoying a really great dessert. So I think this is the right time.
From the looks of it, Handel's is sure to be the newest hit downtown. Riley Guy, Clemson News Now.
Speaking of sweets, Evan, how sweet is crossover season for Clemson sports?
Thank you, Erin. Spring sports have sprung. Clemson women's lacrosse opened their season with a resounding 19-10 victory over the Davison Wildcats. Newcomers Reagan Byrne and Claire Boxty made their presence known as the two racked up 10 goals and 7 assists. Clemson returns home Saturday at noon versus Coastal Carolina. Clemson's softball team is off to a hot start, headed into Puerto Vallarta College Challenge this week. Ranked 7 in the nation. The Tigers are off to a 4-1 start with a lot of traveling left in store. They will not have a home game until the Clemson Classic begins on February 23rd at 4 p.m. Baseball is back. Sitting at 10th in the nation, Eric Bakich plans on building off the foundation laid last season. It all begins Friday afternoon with a 3-game homestand versus Xavier, with Marquis wins versus North Carolina and Syracuse. Clemson basketball is certainly heading in the right direction. The Tigers will continue the NCAA tournament push versus NC State 7:45 Saturday night, right there at Little John Coliseum. That is all for Clemson sports. Back to you, Erin.
After all that ice cream, we have some not-so-sweet news. Heartbroken fans mourn for country music superstar Toby Keith passed away peacefully on February 5th. He announced on social media in 2022 of his undergoing chemotherapy and radiation treatments for stomach cancer since the fall of 2021. At the time, he was optimistic about his recovery. As a major country music star for 3 decades, Keith created hits such as Red Solo Cup, How Do You Like Me Now, and Beer for My Horses, a duet with Willie Nelson. Even in his final days, he still continued to perform on tour to millions across the nation.
As we head into the weekend, Rachel, how's the weather looking in the Clemson area?
Well, Alex, it seems like Clemson is finally thawing out. We have a very consistent weather schedule as we look ahead. Temperatures will stay in the high 50s to low 60s. It looks like we can also officially put our warm coats away as spring-like temperatures have sprung. Flowers may start to bloom too, with all of the sunshine expected in the next week. Go out and enjoy those bright sunny days, Tigers. Back to you, Alex.
Finally, we end with a story that has rocked the nation. Multiple large retailers, including Costco and Trader Joe's, have recalled items containing dairy products from Rizzo Lopez Foods Incorporated due to possible Listeria contamination. Dozens of dairy products last week were recalled after investigation identified them as a source of a multi-state Listeria breakout that led to 2 deaths and 23 hospitalizations. Since then, the recall has expanded to include additional products made with the recalled yogurt, sour cream, and cheese, such as dressing, sandwiches, and salad kits. That's all for this week, Tigers. Thank you again for joining us. Tune in next week for more Clemson news. I'm Alex Alonzo.
And I'm Erin Mason, Clemson News Now.